wanted to talk about Fairy Fencer F, which is a game from Idea Factory. This was like the second game of theirs I've ever played after Dragon Star Varnier, and I was curious to check this out because this is a bit different. Whereas Dragon Star was kind of the beginning of something, I'm hopping in to Fairy Fencer an entry or two in, and so it's kind of continuing a story where I'm kind of playing catch up on what's happening. But the good part is at the beginning, they definitely do a lore drop and they kind of explain everything to you at the beginning. Oh, here the main character's like, oh, here's a recap of everything that's happened. Now, similar to their other games, this is very like visual novel cutscene based as well. I did notice that there isn't really 3D cutscenes, at least a bit I've played so far compared to Dragon Star. This one is definitely more visual novel text-based cutscenes. Sometimes they'll have cutscenes that are like artwork cutscenes where they just show an image on the screen as the dialogue's going on. And it's really cool though, like the images that they show sometimes are like, oh, these would be cool backgrounds like to have on PC and desktop. So it's kind of cool to see. It's got a similar look to their other games. It's kind of got that anime sort of quality to it. And there is like voiceover between the cutscenes and all that. Same thing. Some scenes don't have it, but a lot of the scenes do. And so it was interesting to see where I was going to go with this game where I didn't really know what's going on. It's not too often I hop into a series and not start at the beginning. I'm usually like more like I like starting things at the beginning to see if I would like it, if I want to continue on. But hopping in here, you have a map. It's different than the other game I played because this one is, there's a map where you get to choose where to go. And then once you're in that spot, then you're kind of in that sandboxy sort of feel again where you're walking around and like fighting monsters and stuff. It feels like there's more menus in this one too, just in general. And it's definitely got more comedic elements to it. Whereas Dragon Star had some comedic moments, but I felt like it was more serious. This one definitely has more comedic moments. I feel like even from the beginning, when the main character is explaining to you what's happening, because you start out in the jail and he's like, yeah, I'm in jail. How did I end up here? There's a lot more comedic elements to it. The action, though, is a little bit different. This one is more traditional, and it's tactics-based. So the fighting style is a lot different. This one is, you're playing like a tactics sort of thing. You have a grid, you move the character around, and they attack kind of one at a time. So it's a different style of JRPG, but one that's been around a very long time. So if you weren't vibing with the other gameplay style, this one might be for you. It's nice that even though the core, a lot of the elements are the same, with the gameplay, they're varying it up. And with this game, there wasn't as much stuff to like download, so I'm not like super overpowered, so I'm kind of playing it how it's supposed to be played. And I like it so far. It does feel like there's maybe less combat in this one, but again, I'm only partway through into it. I would say if you played another Idea Factory game, then you'll probably vibe with this one as well. Again, if you're not visual novel related, you're probably not gonna like this game. Both these games, by the way, that I played of Idea Factory were the PS4 versions on the PS5. And, you know, they both ran pretty well. It ran pretty fine. I had a good time playing them both, and the only catch is that it's also like, again, another like 20-hour or so game. And so these games, it's personal preference on whether you're gonna vibe with it or not. But I like this one as much as the other one. I like that the gameplay was different enough. Again, you want to play in shorter sessions just because it is text dialogue heavy, and there's, you know, in this one too, you're not like button mashing as much either because it is tactics based. But if you like strategy, then you'll vibe with this one more than the other entry. But I'm curious to check out some of the other ones from Idea Factory to see like what other variations of combat they have throughout the rest of their titles. And yeah, I would check it out if you get the chance.